Well, hey guys, it's Jason. Standing out here in my little barn. Got my little light set up over here. No electricity out here, just run along extension cord. You know how one project turns into like five? Well, my video from last weekend was uh, was the fan that I took apart out of the air conditioner, and and the plans on building a Vogelzang stove and or actually upgrading my Vogelzang stove to the double barrel heat exchange one and getting my workshop going good again. Well, I had no room. You know how it is. You just collect and you collect and you collect stuff up, and you wind up with just stuff just piled everywhere. So my workshop, which I revamped a couple of 3 years ago and got it set up for my Jeep when I finished the restoration project on my Jeep. Um, I got it set up and closed up where the cats couldn't crawl all over it and this, that, and the other, and got my workshop pretty well cleaned out and in the process, of course, a lot of things got thrown away and a lot of things got moved out here to the barn. Well, anyway, they weren't organized very well out here, and like I say, I'm starting the new project of revamping the workshop again, getting the heat exchange stove put in. I'm gonna have to move it and everything, and put a pipe through the ceiling. And so I said, well, let's go out here to the barn and start rearranging things. So this is sort of a status update, I guess you'd say, to use a to borrow a term from Facebook, but this whole wall right here is right in front of the door. You walk into the barn right here, and it's a small little barn. What, 12 by 15 maybe? It's not much more than a shed. Now it's got lean-tos on either side, and over on that side is that's a whole nother story. That's a lean-to shed that has a 14-foot boat in it that my father and I used to go fishing in back when I was a kid, and he had to move his home. Yes, he moved his home uh, that he built himself. I got to show y'all those pictures one of these days. It's an incredible story of my dad and his home. It's a really beautiful place, but he had to move his home because the highway took it. So this boat wound up in this lean-to shed, and the lean-to shed on the other side over there is full of all kinds of other stuff from that. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Um, I had in this area right here, I had sawhorses set up. All that wood was stacked on them sawhorses, and underneath them sawhorses were my children's toys. I guess you can tell that I have two daughters. Uh, they're both grown now, but I just can't seem to bring myself to throw that stuff away. But what I found funny and thought I'd share with you is out of the middle of all this stuff, I found a couple of things that was really cool. I had a great childhood. I grew up poor, but that desk right there, I was a little flunky. I was no good in school at all as a young child, and I think when I was around 8 or 9 years old, my mother spent good money on that little school desk so that I'd get better at doing my homework. and and that wound up here. That's as a prepper type hoarder person, I can't let it go. One of these days, as you can see, the press board that's on it, which is surprising to me, the that it's got press board for the desktop. The back and the seat is actually wood, but the top's some sort of a press board with a laminate on it. Um, and for that time, I was born in '66, so this was bought in '74, '73, something like that. Um, so I kind of was surprised that that press board was on there, but it is. And anyway, one of these days I might have a grandkid, and that might be fun to do a restoration project on. The other thing I run across was this set of barbells. Uh, like I say, once again, I grew up poor. My dad built his own house and didn't finish it till I was married and out of the house. But back when I was about that same age, 10, 12 years old, being a young stud back in the day, I got into wanting a weight bench. Well, this is what my dad put up for me. This is put together for me. It's 4 casters off of something that he scrounged up, and a piece of galvanized water pipe, and he put that together for me, and give it a little splash of spray paint. And I remember being a kid, 10, 12 years old. I'd do curls with that thing all day long. It actually served its purpose well. So growing up poor is not a bad thing. I just gotta say. And the last thing that I dug out from the bottom of this pile was my old 27-inch bicycle. Man, I put a lot of miles on that guy. But anyway, it's a Western Flyer, red, white, and blue. Pretty sure I got it in '76 when I was 11 years old. 10 or 11, somewhere around 10 or 11 years old, I got this bike. I had an old purple Western Flyer, 20-inch, with the sissy bar on it, and the big ape hanger handlebars on it, as my first little bicycle when I was a young one. But this was my 27-inch racing bike. Boy, I thought I was something. I actually skint myself up pretty good on it one day. Back as a youngin', we were actually going to have a race at the high school. I was in 9th or 10th grade, and me and a buddy of mine was practicing for that bicycle race. Back in the day when the movie Breaking Away come out. But we were headed down a hill, and I stood up to stomp on that thing and dropped it into 12th gear, and I got about 4 or 5 good strokes on it, and the chain broke, and I went over the handlebars. I had a motorcycle wreck in 1998 doing 70 miles an hour on my Kawasaki ZL1000, and I swear I think that bicycle wreck skint me up worse than that motorcycle wreck did. But anyway, just sharing a little bit of memories with you. Good times. Growing up poor is not a bad thing, y'all. And one project leads to another. My Lord. Anyway, guys, have a great one. This is Jason.